All right, welcome back, or if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Morgan and I create lots of different food content on this channel, but also over on TikTok and Instagram where I go by the handle Morgan Chomps. I have lots of different series on this channel, and then over on TikTok and Instagram, I'll do food finds, food reviews, food recommendations, grocery hauls, all that fun stuff. So there's a lot going on. Well, today we're going to be doing a Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram to send in some questions for me to answer basically about anything. I believe I've picked out, like 12 or 13-ish questions to answer. Hopefully this will help you get to know me a little bit better, so let's get into it. All right, so question number 1 is, what's a normal what I eat in a day for you? I'm starting with this one because it was probably my most asked question. Now listen up, this is my disclaimer. This is just what I eat. I am by no means a healthcare professional or any sort of that thing. For some context or background, like 5 years ago-ish, I lost a good chunk of weight just simply by exercising and eating smaller portions. So with that in mind, this is what I eat in a day to kind of maintain where I'm at right now. Currently, I also engage in like minimal exercise and movement, not only because the weather is always so bad in Colorado and I run so cold, but because I'm kind of going through unexplained chronic pain right now, which is a whole other can of worms. But yeah, as the weather starts to warm up and I hopefully figure out what's going on with me, I can start moving more, going on walks, going on hikes, all that good stuff. So now with all of that being said, here's what I eat in a day in general terms. In the morning, I love getting up early. I usually wake up around like 5 a.m. I'll start with coffee with some cream, some stevia, and then some Torani sugar-free syrup. Breakfast really varies. I'm really bad. Sometimes I'll get really busy with work and I won't even have any breakfast, which I already know is bad. Sometimes I'll have banana bread, I'll have cereal, I'll have a donut every single Sunday. For lunch, this is where I will like hyper fixate on one food for months. So right now that's usually looking like a smoothie bowl, a yogurt bowl, maybe with some chicken salad or just some leftovers, or I'm in the mood for like snacking, so I'll have like some popcorn, or I'll have veggies like carrots with some type of dip, like maybe a tzatziki dip or maybe a hummus. Or if it's extra freezing in Colorado, which it often is, I'll just have like soup or ramen or something like that. I usually only snack on things like fruits, so we're talking grapes, pineapple, apples, bananas, cuties, things like that. I would say out of everything, dinner is my biggest meal. I usually eat like normal dinners. I'm honestly not really sure how else to describe it. My family always eats dinner together, so we'll have dishes like a meat and vegetable, salads, sandwiches, comfort food. We always seem to have like a taco night. And then this is the most crucial thing. I think this is going to give it away. I always have to have dessert. It's a must, even if it's just like a piece of candy, something sweet to end my night with. So that's kind of like a general overview of what I eat in a day. Take all of that info and do with it what you will. All right, question number 2 is, did you grow up in Colorado? Ever thought of moving anywhere else? I did grow up in Colorado, born and raised actually. I'm nestled just slightly east of Boulder, and if we put weather aside, I really do like it here. I'm actually really close to the Rocky Mountains. Sometimes I'll be driving home, which typically means I'm headed west, and I'll just look at the mountains and be like, whoa, they really are right there. There's also a lot of different facets to Colorado. There's a lot of different types of people who live here, truly all kinds, except for like the beach crowd because we are a landlocked state. But you'll get like city-centric people, more Midwestern people, country people, mountain town type of people, which can range from like a rancher type to like a hippie. There's a lot going on. Now, weather-wise, I absolutely hate it. I despise snow. I cannot even find the right word to accurately describe how much I hate it. I like to joke that Colorado actually only has 2 seasons, pre-winter and winter. Pre-winter being like 3 weeks out of the entire year that's actually warm consistently. I'd really love to move somewhere warm like Arizona or somewhere else that's like super hot and super dry. We have vacationed to Arizona many times in the summer before, so I know that I can handle like that kind of heat. So yeah, in general, I would love to live somewhere on the warmer side. Never have to see snow, shovel snow, drive in snow. Never have to deal with the film that the salt that they put down for the snow leaves on your car, like this nasty residue. It gets everywhere. Snow is all pretty and festive for everyone until you have these giant black icebergs of polluted snow that do not melt until summertime. That was a really long-winded answer, but I felt it was definitely necessary. All right, the next question is, favorite thing at Taco Bell? I mean, talk about the hardest question to answer ever. I feel like that's asking a parent to pick a favorite child. If you were asking Kid Morgan, my answer would be a Chalupa Supreme with beef. Hands down, that was definitely my go-to with a side of chips and cheese. If we're talking all time, I would say perhaps the chicken chips or the grilled stuffed nacho. That was amazing. I know for sure I have always loved their cheese quesadilla. Such a classic. I don't know why Taco Bell's quesadilla specifically is so delicious, but it just is. I've always loved their spicy potato soft tacos, their 5-layer burritos, that beefy nacho loaded griller that they used to have. So sad that they took all of their grillers off the menu. Absolutely will not forgive them for that. There's just so many amazing things, especially paired with a Baja Blast. Does anybody else remember when they had those $2 meal deals? It was either like a 5-layer burrito, a gordita, a double-decker taco, and I can't remember remember the other one. And then with that, you'd get a bag of Doritos and a drink for $2. Those were really the days, but honestly, I'm just getting distracted. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to answer this question. I'm going to answer by saying a menu item, but it's actually an item that encompasses more than one thing. That's my loophole. It's the cravings box, like the build your own cravings box. It comes with a chalupa, a crunch wrap, or a cheesy gordita crunch, and then you can choose from like a 5-layer burrito, a bean burrito, a soft taco, a normal taco, a Doritos Locos taco, or a spicy potato soft taco, and then you either pick chips and cheese or cinnamon twists, and then it comes with a drink. All for like $5.99 where I'm at. My go-to for this box would be a cheesy gordita crunch with a 5-layer burrito, chips and cheese, and a Baja Blast. That is my favorite thing at Taco Bell, the build your own cravings box, so that way I don't have to just pick one thing. All right, the next question is, how do you balance delicious treats and healthy foods in your everyday life? Okay, so in general, I try to eat 80% healthy and then 20% whatever. I've learned over the years that you can truly eat anything in moderation. And I also think that in the same way that society is trying to stop us from labeling unhealthy foods as unhealthy, we shouldn't jump to label healthy foods as healthy, in the sense that healthy foods are just assumed to not taste as good or be as yummy because they're quote unquote healthy foods. Does that make sense? Also, I feel like it's really worth revisiting a lot of veggies and just other types of food that you might not have liked as a kid. I just say veggies especially because a lot of kids probably don't like veggies, but if you try them again as an adult and prepare them properly, so bomb. Like for example, I love green beans, like right out of the can. I'll warm them up. I'll put some Trader Joe's garlic salt on them. One of my favorite things. I love peas. I love carrots. Onions are a whole other story. I'm obsessed. And this is coming from someone 6 or 7 years ago that would not touch a fruit or a vegetable unless I absolutely had to. I thought all healthy foods just inherently tasted bad or like not as good. So why would I choose to eat that over something else like chips or goldfish or snacks or whatever? So basically I balance delicious treats and healthy foods by doing the 80-20 thing, but also by just seeing delicious treats and healthy foods as the same thing. Like you can have your cake and eat it too, you feel? I also read somewhere rather recently that your palate actually changes every like 6 to 7 years. So foods you thought you didn't like, you might actually like now. So kind of one of my resolutions of 2023 was to try all foods without judgment because you never know what you actually might end up liking. Ooh, this next question is going to make me feel like Zach Bagans. It is, any scary stories? So I swear this house that I'm currently in is haunted. But hear me out, I have thought about this very logically. So when we first moved into this house, I think like 7 years ago at this point, some weird things would happen. Basically, I have both an upstairs and a downstairs, but like both floors are walkouts, they both have outdoor exits. So it's almost like having 2 ground floors. So when I say downstairs, that actually walks out to our backyard, but my front door is just on this level. Downstairs, we have 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, a laundry room, and then a living space with a fireplace. I took the bedroom that's to the right of the staircase, and then my sister took the bedroom that's to the left. My sister has her own experiences from being in that bedroom, but I say that because I believe it's her room that was the haunted one. Or is the haunted one. It'll make sense later. Both because a lot of creepy things happened to her in that room and because of the timing of all of these things. So throughout her time of being in that bedroom, unexplained things and noises would happen. We'd hear creaking on the stairs like footsteps, but it wasn't the house making it creak. It was like a very obvious footstep sound, but obviously like nobody would be on them. This happened a lot at night, like right when we were going to bed. My sister would be in her bedroom. I would be in like the bathroom or something, and I would feel like somebody was walking down the stairs, but nobody was there. Basically, it was blatant footsteps. One time she was sleeping in that bedroom and she swears the doorknob turned, and it was obviously nobody else in the house. A disembodied hand even like reached toward her face one time, and it was not a dream. First of all, she doesn't dream. Second of all, she's a very like awake, asleep person. And if you know my sister, like she is not somebody to just say things like this or say things or think these things out of like nothing. Anyways, on occasion too, I had this electric piano that I would keep downstairs in the living space. I didn't keep it plugged in, and quite frankly, I hardly used it. Well, a few different times, my sister, my mom, and I, all kind of on separate occasions too, heard some of the keys on this piano being played. And it wasn't by any of us. The piano wasn't even plugged in. It should not have been able to produce any sound. And so all of this is going on, right? Well, around like 2019, my sister decided to move out of that bedroom and then just put her bed and everything in the living space. And then we turned her old bedroom into sort of like an office that we hardly use. At least we don't frequent it as much as like she would have when she actually lived in that bedroom. And now that we don't use that space as much, a lot of these unexplained happenings and sounds and noises don't happen anymore. I honestly can't even remember the last time something like this would have happened. It's like this ghost or apparition or whatever you'd like to call it. Now that it has its own space back or something, we all just kind of live in peace. It sounds weird, I know, but what else am I supposed to think? How else do I explain something like that, or what conclusion do I come to other than that? All right, the next question says, I really want to start a food account, but I don't know. What's your first piece of advice for me? I'm like the first person to honestly hate when people say this, and I hated when people would say this this to me, or I would see this said when I was in this position, because it just seems so obvious. But seriously, just start. You're not going to know what you're doing. You're not going to know what your style is, your branding, what you like versus what you don't like when it comes to your personal content creation. But you honestly just have to start and be okay with not knowing everything, and not even knowing everything that you want out of posting. I'm a classic overthinker, so I really wanted to have everything squared away before I started, but that honestly just stopped me from starting like years ago when I first had the idea to do this. Ideally, I wanted to have all my ducks in a row before I started any food accounts, but that's just not realistic. It got to a certain point where I realized like I either have to just start or just give up this idea entirely. There's just no way to know certain things until you're further down the line as you continue to post. So be okay with not knowing and the unknown, because things really will get easier and just kind of fall into place. You'll naturally get in a rhythm. You'll naturally find your branding or your editing style. Things will make more sense as you go along. The only other thing I would add is just to make sure that you're consistent, but you have to make sure that you don't overdo it. Don't overwhelm yourself at first. You obviously still want to have fun, I assume. So give yourself a schedule that you can reasonably commit to. Like, don't think or plan that you're going to come right out of the gate posting 3 times daily on TikTok, 2 times daily on Instagram. You're going to be filming YouTube videos. It's just unreasonable. And maybe don't scale upwards until you're reasonably confident that you can, because most of us have like jobs or school or some like major commitment aside from this. Give yourself a routine that you can manage and then see how you like it. So overall, with all of that, be consistent, but don't overdo it. That's all I've got to say, other than have fun with it, because if you're not having fun, then what's the point of even doing it in the first place? Next question is all-time favorite great value item. How dare someone ask this question? Actually, this question was asked multiple times. So how dare y'all? I wanted to say their breakfast pizza, but I realized that's more like Walmart's market side line, so it's not really great value. If we're talking price-wise, I would say the great value Pop-Tarts, because I believe they start at like just $1 for 4 packs. That's wild to me, but taste-wise, maybe their blueberry cream cheese. It's something that I haven't been able to find any other brand really do, or do like great values, and the price is absolutely unbeatable. That's a given. I also really love their kettle chips, like the jalapeno ones and the salt and vinegar ones. But yeah, as far as uniqueness goes, I think I'll have to go with the blueberry lemon cream cheese. Ooh, I really like this next question. It is, how much money do you spend on groceries each week, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, clearly I don't mind at all. In fact, I'm actually glad someone really did ask this, because I'm all about budgeting to like a manageable level or extent. Like, you don't have to be some kind of crazy coupon lady to save money, spend it wisely, get food deals, all that good stuff. So I'd say like weekly for my family of 3, which consists of me, my mom, and my sister who's 19, we spend about $70 to $90 per week on groceries, and that's not including eating out like maybe once or twice. And that's on food for breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and snacks. I'd say overall it probably consists of like 1/3 produce, 1/3 other ingredients, and then like 1/3 frozen food, or like packaged food like snacks. For us, we found that it's best to shop at Safeway every single week, and then we'll fill in with things from Walmart that we know are cheaper or just better at Walmart. Some weeks we'll spend on that higher range because maybe there's a good sale going on. Maybe we want to stock up on some things like cereal, chips, crackers, maybe even meat, what have you. And some weeks we'll spend in that lower range, probably because we stocked up, or maybe we're also getting really good deals that week as well. And let me tell you, we eat good. We never go without. We have plenty of food. We would never run out of food unless we were trapped in our house for like 3 months. I mean, remember, we're in Colorado, and I might be wrong, but I feel like $70 to $90 a week is probably on the lower range when it comes to spending money on groceries. I do have an entire video on this channel dedicated to how I get food deals when it comes to both groceries and eating out, but I do want to say something here that I did say in that video just really quickly. The way we plan our meals and our groceries for the next week is always based off of the weekly ad. So for example, if meat is on sale, we'll have meat that week, and maybe we'll even stock up for the next week. If salad and salad fixings are on sale, guess we're having salad week. If an item like chips aren't on sale, we're not buying chips that week, because either chances are we stocked up on them previously when they were on sale, or if we're really wanting chips, we could just go to Walmart and get their great value kind. If any of this sounds helpful or informative, please go watch that other video. I'll put it in the description box or put it in the card. I don't know if the card's over here or over here. It'll be somewhere. But yeah, hopefully that answered this person's question and kind of gave it a little bit of context. Ooh, number 9, I got this one a lot too. It's, what do you do for work? Let's just say I do things in the social media management realm. I mean, ideally, I would love for all of this to eventually become a full-time job, like just making and managing content for myself. But that's just kind of like the dream. I still live in reality. All right, next question is top 3 favorite candy bars ever. I'm really not a huge candy person. I know I said previously that I will have dessert every night, and that might consist of like even just a little piece of candy, but that's typically more like a Tootsie Pop or some cinnamon bears, some licorice, not a whole candy bar. I hardly eat anything like that unless it's like around Halloween time. But with all that being said, I would say Butterfinger, Twix, and 100-gram bars are my top 3 favorite candy bars. A frozen Snickers does hit really good though in the summertime. Also, I would have hands down said Reese's, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't count as a candy bar, right? But if it does, I'm putting Reese's in there. Kind of along the same lines, this next question is best dessert. Hands down ice cream and anything close to it. Meaning like froyo, soft serve, you get it. And I kind of say this all the time, but I need to be able to chew my ice cream. Good ice cream is chewable. It has lots of mix-ins and toppings. In my opinion, Butterfinger is the best ice cream topping, and froyo is the best form of ice cream because you essentially get to make the ice cream yourself. At least all of the combos yourself. And also, ice cream just pairs with like all the other desserts so well. Brownies, pies, cookies, cakes, yeah, all amazing with ice cream. All right, the next question is random fact about yourself. Why do I feel like I'm back in high school or college on the first day of class and you have to like introduce yourself and say like one fun thing about you? At first I was going to say I'm obsessed with chapstick, but that one's kind of not that interesting. So here's something fun. I cannot sit through like 99% of movies. I have got to be doing something if I'm watching a TV show or a movie, especially if it's a movie. It's just too long and I need to be more like stimulated than that. A 20-some minute TV episode of not doing anything and just watching that is enough for me. Like that's even pushing it. I'm getting stir crazy. So if I'm watching TV, I'm either working on some other type of content creation, playing a game on my phone, doing some type of art. So yeah, the thought of having to sit in a movie theater and watch a movie for like over an hour, over 2 hours without doing anything else is something that I can really only tolerate like once or twice a year. If you ever date me, you would not want to take me to a movie. I'll just say that much. This last question's kind of funny. It doesn't really fit with anything else we've been talking about, but I'm here for it. Is there anywhere in particular that you'd like to visit in England? So I went to England in 2014, so that means I was about like 16 or 17. It was a class type trip kind of centered around World War I history and World War II history. We stayed for maybe like 3 or 4 days maximum in London before moving on to France. So I saw London, I saw some of the historical parts of that city, but I'd love to visit more of the countryside of England and honestly just stay there for like a month just to get the pace of like living somewhere else like that. If anyone wants to suggest places for me to visit specifically, be my guest. By all means, do so. And with that, that's all the questions I picked out for this Q&A. Listen, this is not about to be something that I'm going to do on the regular, but I kind of wanted to let you guys get to know me a little bit better, so I thought this would be probably the best way to do so. I feel like I'm back on like 2014, 2015 YouTube where every single YouTuber was doing these like constantly. But yeah, anyways, as always, I will link my TikTok and my Instagram below if you want to check me out on those platforms. I think that's everything though. Thank you to everybody who submitted a question. I really appreciate you for being here and caring about anything that I have to say. Have a great week, stay safe, eat something yummy, and I'll see you in the next one.